Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're just gonna jump right into making this little mini orbital sander, and I've seen it done online somewhere else before, and I just wanted to show you guys how I make my version of it. So you can use this sander on just about anything. I use it for doing my sanding on my custom controllers, but this works great for hobbies like creating cars and models and stuff like that. So of course you can always find other uses for it as well. The cool thing is that it comes with different heads, so you can create and customize each head to either buff or sand, or if you want to have multiple grids on it, you can do that as well. And obviously you can buy additional heads and apply different things to it, so that's kind of cool. This particular model is the Equate brand for Walmart, so it's about $8 to $10, and it does come with batteries. It takes two AA batteries, and of course I'm going to replace those with rechargeable ones because I'm constantly using this particular tool. So I use the Amazon rechargeable with AA batteries. And today I'm going to show you how to make this. I already have one already made, and I just need a second one, so let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be using the Equate, the same thing as I previously have, so I'm going to go with that, and it is the Walmart brand, so you can probably get it online or just go to your local store and pick it up for under $10. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is remove this from the package and remove the bristles on one of the heads because we're going to be gluing an additional thing on top of that. So let's go ahead and cut all those bristles out, and you can use a scissor, or in this case I'm going to be using a little knife, an X-Acto knife, so anything works as long as you can get most of them off. This particular step is probably not necessary, but I do it anyways. So I went ahead and melt to the bristles that are left over on there, and while they're still kind of kind of hot, I'm pushing them down on a piece of metal. This way they kind of create kind of like a mushroom shape, and this way when I go to hot glue the little foam, it actually has something to hold on to. Alright, and then for this next step I'm using hot glue, and we've bought some little round foam circles from the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store, and those are usually used for putting on the bottom of your chair or your table, or your furniture. This way it doesn't scratch your floor. So that's kind of the section that you want to go into and look for these little foams. They're little round little pads on there. So they do come with a little bit of glue on the back, which is kind of cool. And essentially all we're doing is just gluing this directly onto the head itself. The hot glue really melts into the bristles and grabs the foam pretty good, so this is the reason why I'm using it. It's never come apart, so I know it definitely works. The glue has dried or cooled down, and now we can test it to make sure the little foam's not going to fly out once we turn on the toothbrush. Alright, so when I was putting on my sandpaper, this is the way I used to cut my sandpaper. I used to cut it into like little inch squares and then just kind of round it off the edges, and then kind of got tired of doing this, so I came up with a new way of making those round little sandpapers. So I'm going to show you that here in the next step. But first, in order for us to be able to attach the sandpaper onto the little foam, we're going to be using double-sided tape, and the tape that I use is actually kind of like a construction double-sided tape, which is mainly used for carpets. So it's very sticky, and it doesn't leave residue, which is kind of cool, but it's still super strong. So you can find that on Amazon, And yeah, so just go ahead and cut a little piece out, and we'll stick the sandpaper onto the foam. Alright, and instead of cutting out each individual little piece of sandpaper to put on your sander there, let's go ahead and find out how we can create these perfectly round little pieces of sandpaper. And the solution for this is this little crafting hole puncher, and it creates a 1 1/4, I think, inch round circle, and it's mainly used obviously for crafting and stuff like that. I didn't even know it existed, but I found this out and had to get one, and it's obviously less than $10. And let's see how much cores of sandpaper it can actually cut. I usually cut my sandpaper a little bit larger than the foam. This way, if I do have some rounded edges on my item that I'm sanding, it can kind of curve the round without having to put some deep nicks inside your item. So that's kind of cool. It kind of bends a little bit. And I know that this particular hole puncher will cut a 440 grit paper, and I was curious to see if it'll punch a 60 grit paper, and giving it all the pressure that I can, it does not go through. So it is 2 cores for that blade to go through the actual sandpaper there. So went ahead and tried something a little bit heavier grit, so we're going with a 220, and yep, that went fairly easy. So probably anything from 100 and up, you should be able to hole punch or create these little sanding pads. Alright, and here's a quick example of how the tool performs. I think it works great. The batteries last a long time, so you can definitely get a lot of use off of one charge. And let's go ahead and take a look. So aside from sanding, you could always be creative, and I've added a buffing pad to the end of one of them, and I'm able to I'm able to buff the item after it's been cleared. So that really works out as well. Obviously you don't want to continue using it because you might end up scratching your item, but you can always replace it and add different types of features on top of it, on top of the head. So you can even add some paper clips and make it into a mixing, some sort of like a mixer, so it rotates back and forth and mixes your paint really nice. So that's another option that you can utilize this particular tool. So it's a cool little project that we've done here, and I think it's worth looking into investing. And obviously it makes things a lot quicker. So yeah, I normally use it for airbrushing, obviously my controllers, but you can obviously brush on your paint and it'll stick a little bit better and stuff like that. And even though you're sanding, I always recommend to always clear your items no matter what. This way they're more durable and the paint doesn't come off. So you can utilize some chemical type of paint like this Rust-Oleum clear, or you can use water-based paints here like the Cratex clear gloss there. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think of these little mini orbital sanders. I think they're pretty cool and they work for any small project. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy for now. Bye bye.